What's up, guys? Waiting for you all to just join on in here. Some of you, I probably will answer some questions later on, but I have some things I need to go through first. All right. So for those of you the other night, I believe it was Monday night, who watched my PSA for Boyish Men, it has since gained a little bit of traction. I also posted it on Facebook, and I think it's sitting at about 1.5 million views right now. So obviously, it picked up a little bit of talk, a little bit of chatter, a few haters, which is okay. Not like I'm not used to that. I'm very used to it. But I did want to clear a few things up about that video and just expand on it a little bit, because that's always important. You can't ever say everything you want to say in 15 minutes. And I've heard a lot of comments on it, a lot of praise, a lot of criticism. So I figured I'd just go through some of them if y'all are ready. All right. So first of all, some of the misperceptions and misconceptions about some of the things I said in that video that I want to go through real quick. First and foremost, okay, I don't think all men are trash. And I also want to again reiterate the distinction that I made between boys and men. There is a big difference between boys and men. And I'm not talking about an age difference. I'm talking about a mentality difference. If you are a man and you watch that and you thought that I was calling you trash, I will apologize for that, because I don't think all men are trash. I don't think any men are trash at all. I think that some boys who think that they are men have a tendency, shall we say, in 2020 to not quite act the right way. And I'm not saying that girls act the right way, mind you. Okay, this is an equal opportunity situation here, but I'm not a dude, in case you haven't noticed. I don't identify as a dude, I'm not a dude. So for me to do a video about how crappy women are in the dating scene, I really don't think I could offer you that much knowledge on it, because I've never dated a girl yet. Okay, so I can't help you there. I'm not saying that girls are perfect and men are awful or boys are awful. I'm not saying that, never would say that. I'm sure that there are many horrible girls out there that do many horrible things. I myself am not perfect. I acknowledge that. I'm happy to acknowledge it. So I wanted to clear that up. Men, I don't think you're trash. I happen to quite like men, and especially real men who act like men and who treat women the right way. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but I want to clear up some other misperceptions about the video, things that maybe you guys were confused about, so I can help you out. It was not in any way, shape, or form about my ex-fiance. Okay, my ex-fiance is a saint. My ex-fiance is a great individual, a great man, and the woman that ends up with him is going to be incredibly lucky, because all the things that I bitched about in that video, he didn't do any of those things. He's a great guy. So I want to clear that up. It wasn't me being scorned about a broken off engagement. It wasn't me being scorned about a bad breakup. I haven't dated anybody in months. So it wasn't about that, and it wasn't about my ex-fiance. So I want to clear that up. If he's watching or his friends are watching, not about him. Another thing that I thought was kind of weird, because I read some media headlines about it, was that my video the other night was homophobic. You're going to have to explain that to me, how that video was homophobic. I don't think it was homophobic in the least. I can't even wrap my mind around how anyone say it was homophobic. That makes no sense to me. So if anybody got that impression, maybe rewatch it, because it certainly wasn't homophobic. But I also want to talk a little bit about a couple of the responses that I got, and once again, kind of just reinforcing my point here. So the kind of responses that I got from at least people that I know, males that I know, were two. First of all, most of the guys in my life, they either thought it was about them and it wasn't, and they apologized and they didn't need to, or I had friends of mine that I've never dated who are just dudes who messaged me and said, hey, this actually really helped me out, because it's a jungle out there and sometimes men don't know how to act. They don't know what women want. They don't understand what they're doing wrong, which was the whole point of my video. It wasn't to give men a guideline of things they already knew. It was to help you out in case there's some things you didn't, okay? Maybe men don't know that we like plans to be made. Maybe men don't know that consistency is important. Maybe men don't know that it's nice to be valued for what you bring to the table. Maybe some men don't know those things. Maybe they don't know how important communication is. Men and women think differently. Totally understand that. So I got a lot of men that I know who are great guys who honestly messaged me and said, hey, this is helpful. It's nice to know how women think. It's nice to know how you and your friends think. I like you. I think you're a cool chick. So it was great pointers. And that again reinforces my point. That is the difference between a man and a boy. The men in my life that I've dated, met, gone out with, or I'm just friends with, they either laughed, they thought it was funny, or they were like, hey, cool, thanks for the heads up, okay? That's a man. And then I got the other responses from boys. And I don't know a whole lot of boys, by the way, but there were some boys that like to creep through Twitter, some with blue check marks, some that are in bum F wherever and don't whatever, that just wanted to make a comment. And their responses were, Tomi is bashing men. Tomi hates men. We're not your fan anymore because you hate men. That is a boy response. Because a true man would know that the things that I said probably didn't apply to them. And if some of those things did apply to them, they were like, hey, let me make it better. So if men want to make a video and be like, hey girls, this is what I think you're doing wrong, by all means, please do it. I will be a viewer. All right? Just throwing that out there. But yes, so to all those, especially on Twitter, because Twitter is the most vile place, that had something to say about how, she's not a conservative. She critiqued men. She's a feminist. I'm not a feminist, and being a feminist is a completely different thing from what I did. If I'm going to point out and criticize some of the behaviors of modern men, that does not make me a feminist. In fact, I think it makes me pretty damn conservative, because I'm looking at the way men are raised right now. I'm looking at the way society is raising men, the way pop culture is raising men, and I'm saying maybe there's a problem. All right? That's a very conservative thing to say. And I'm going to get to a little bit more of that in a little bit as well. But I also want to talk about the responses that I got from women, and most of them conservative women. So to all you boys out there who are telling me that I'm not a conservative because I made a critique of the way modern men act, yeah, you should know that all the girls in my DM are mostly all conservative women, and they all were saying, preach, preach, preach. What you said is true. Oh my goodness. Thank gosh someone said something, because what you said is true. So those are conservative women out there. So for you so-called conservative men, who are actually some of you boys, who are saying that you can't possibly be a conservative and say anything bad about the male species in general, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I can say whatever the hell I want to. And if those of you who aren't familiar with me, I really don't care if me speaking the truth and me speaking my mind bothers and triggers people on the left, the right, the middle. I don't care. I'm going to say what I need to say. And that's what makes me genuine and real. And for those of you that have followed me for a long time, you know that about me. I'm going to spit it to you straight. Whether I'm doing it on Instagram Live or I'm sitting at a bar doing it. All right? I'm going to give it to you straight. And that's the way it is. It's not me being bitter. It's not me being mad. It's just me giving you my damn final thoughts, because that is what I do. And I think I'm pretty good at it, by the way. So a lot of women came to me in my DMs and were like, thank you for saying something. So again, I just hope this can be a learning tool. I don't know everything about everything, but at 27, almost 28 years old, I have been around men. I've been around a lot of millennial men, and I've seen some things that I think could be changed for the better, communication that could be improved, things that could be improved upon that would make us all just a little happier. All right. And men, it's going to help you out too, because you're going to get a real kick-ass woman who is going to be really appreciative of all those things that you fixed, because they're probably really simple fixes. So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk a little bit about my backstory. All right. Again, my video the other night was not about my ex-fiance, but prior to him, I dated a lot of just really horrible men. All right. If you guys read my book, you know. Every guy I've ever dated has cheated on me. Every guy I've ever dated has lied to me. Every guy I've ever dated has just quite frankly not been great. With a few exceptions that were great people, but we just didn't work out. But most of the guys have treated me like absolute crap. And like most of the women watching this, I put up with that for years, okay? In high school, through almost all through college, dated the same guy who treated me horribly. He cheated on me multiple times. He said horrible things to me. He did horrible things to me. And I sat there and I put up with it. I was always incredibly strong in my politics. I was always incredibly strong in school, in my professional life, in my career, in my determination. But for some reason, I went through so many years of letting someone treat me like crap, and I stayed. And I know that there are so many strong women out there that can relate to that because they're such badasses. But when it comes to men, for some reason, they just can't get themselves to be as strong as they are in other places. Once I got out of that long relationship, I fixed the hell out of that. And then after that, I decided I wasn't going to put up with it anymore. And I had a few bumps in the road along the way, but pretty much so I haven't put up with a lot since then. And I hope that all you women out there will be the same way. And men, if you guys are with a horrible girl or a horrible woman and she doesn't treat you well, I hope you'll do the same. I hope you'll be strong enough to say peace, because no one deserves to be treated like crap, all right? And there are some things that just aren't fixable in a relationship. If it's gone on and gone on and gone on and the precedent has been set for treating each other like crap, in my personal experience, it probably just isn't ever going to work. People don't change that much when they've been set in their ways and the precedent has been set. And here's another thing for ladies out there, if I would give you a little bit of advice, is you teach people how to treat you, which is actually part of the point of the PSA that I did the other night. You set your own price tag, you teach people how to treat you, you set the precedent. If you say this is what I expect, then those people that want to meet those expectations, they'll still be there. All right? So I just want to give you that piece of advice. I also want to talk about what I call the DBAP double standard. For those of you who follow Clay Travis and a lot of others, they've developed that term DBAP, don't be a, I think you know what the P word stands for. I'm not going to say it. But it's funny to me that I got ripped up and down by conservative accounts on Twitter because I basically said, don't be a, and all of a sudden I'm bashing men. But when a man says DBAP, every man goes, yeah, don't be a, okay? So I'm confused. I don't like double standards. I'm not a feminist, but you guys know I'm going to call it a double standard when I see it. So for me to say DBAP to the men out there who are acting like, you know what? All right, that's not me bashing men. That's me doing the same thing that a lot of other men do to men, saying, hey, grow up, act right, be a man, okay? Just gonna throw that out there. Be a man. Treat women with respect. And also demand that respect in return. You gotta make sure women treat you right as well. You don't want a sugar baby. You don't want a girl that's DMing 5 different guys. You don't want a girl that's got nothing going on, who relies on you for everything. Hell no. Hell no. That's why I'm trying to help you. Find a girl that brings something to the table. Hell, find a girl that brings a table to the table. I think it's gonna work out better for you. I hope that for you. I hope that for me. Damn it. I hope I can find a guy that appreciates the fact that I bring a table to a table, all right? And that's another thing. I'm not perfect. For people that thought that my commentary that I did the other night was me just being self-indulgent, guys, I laugh at myself more than anybody else out there. I know I got problems. In many cases, I'm a damn dumpster fire when it comes to relationships and everything else. I am not perfect. I am also a mess. Okay? But I do get frustrated just like anybody else. And for those people that tell me, well, you should just stick to politics and talking about politics, I hate to inform you of this, but I'm a whole damn human. I'm a whole damn human with many dimensions. I talk about a lot of things. All right? I don't just stick to politics because I'm a living, breathing human that has opinions about a lot of things. Okay? That's just me. I guess that's the benefit of me. My mouth, and also the disadvantage of me, my mouth. Sorry, is the way it is. That's how I am. Sorry. If you don't like it, bye. But another thing I want to talk about too is no woman wants perfection. I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, nobody's perfect. We try. That's all we're asking for. For me in a relationship, I just ask for a couple of things. I ask for you to be authentic, and I ask for you to be loyal. And that to me comes with a side of good communication, being direct. I'm very direct. I don't beat around the bush. I tell people how I feel. I tell people what I'm thinking. And if they like it or not, that is the way it is. I personally like to know where I stand with people, which is why I am very direct. I think the worst feeling for a man, for a woman, is not knowing where you stand with somebody. I think that's the most frustrating thing. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for the games. I don't like to be texting somebody and then they just stop texting me, or they fade out for a few days. You know, if you're interested, stay interested. And if you're not interested anymore, then fine, but please don't circle back. I talked about this the other night. That's just really the big thing for me, is just be direct in your communication. If you're not feeling me, then please just go away. It's just that simple. Go away, but don't come back. Please don't come back. Because like I said the other night, I don't care anymore. But to all those people out there who are saying that because I did that video the other night that you no longer like me and I'm not a real conservative, I gotta tell you guys something, clear it up real quick. I stopped caring about losing followers for being honest a long time ago. I am far more concerned with losing myself trying to appease people. I'm not an appeaser. That ain't what I do. All right? I speak the truth. I speak my mind. That is how I am. That is how I'm wired, and that's how I'm always going to be. But I do apologize to the real men out there if you thought I was lumping you all into a category of being trash. I don't think all men are trash. I was raised by a wonderful, fantastic, amazing man. And my parents have been married damn near 40 years right now. He knows how to treat my mom with respect. I wish we could go back to that. He knows how to communicate for the most part. I wish we could go back to that. I wish we had more father figures out there that taught boys to be men. I wish that boys didn't learn how to be men off of Instagram and porn. I wish a lot of those things. And that's a pretty conservative school of thought, actually, to look at what's going on in modern day society and think maybe there might be a problem. So that's about all for me. Thank you guys for listening. Again, I like to just clear up any of the misperceptions about that video. And to all the ladies out there that were saying preach, I hope you find a great man. And to all the men out there, I hope you find a great lady that treats you well. And until then, I hope you have damn fun in the process. So that's it for me tonight, guys. God bless you all. Take care.